Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I'm going to be going over my normal schedule as per usual. Also going to be adding RaiBlocks now officially to every episode. We're going to go over RaiBlocks at the beginning just because it's not actually listed on TradingView yet. We have to do the charting on KuCoin. The normal schedule for the time being will be RaiBlocks, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. I'm also going to be working on bringing more and more updates and improvements to these daily episodes. If you want to leave feedback, go ahead. I read everything. And we're going to go over the general market update here to start. Still a lot of cryptocurrencies that are red after all the South Korea FUD last night. And, you know, they did recover definitely a bit. There are some cryptos that are actually doing pretty good. Ripple up quite a bit here on some bullish news after a partnership announcement with MoneyGram. So Ripple is up about 11%. Kind of saved it from all the dropping. Stellar also got some good news with a reserve, I guess some kind of coin burn. It's up quite a bit here, up 17%. Those are some of the odd cryptocurrencies that are doing well. EOS green. Binance Coin up a nice 35%. Got a nice bounce there. Other than that, we can still see that a lot of cryptos are definitely red still. Gonna go over now and give a quick shout out to my premium content. If you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities or 5 high return cryptocurrencies for your 2018 portfolio, this is my latest edition. Even includes some hidden gems and cryptocurrencies that I've never talked about before. You can find all that in the description of this video. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some news updates on what's going on with the South Korean exchanges. So it looks like the South Korean government reaffirmed that there will be no cryptocurrency trading ban for the time being and that nothing is finalized. So really a lot of fun last night from the mainstream media. Pretty typical, and you always have to look at the bigger picture for this type of stuff, right? So now that we covered everything as far as news and stuff goes, oh, one more thing. It looks like Binance reopened registrations completely for the time being. So if you didn't make an account yet, now would probably be the time. I always have a link to them in the description of this video. Let's get started with the RaiBlocks update. We can see that we broke out of our curve over here, right? That's the curve that I was talking about in my previous video about RaiBlocks, where we're in a cup with handle formation. And unfortunately, because of all the South Korean drama that happened last night, we broke out of that formation. Overall, though, I'm not too worried about it because I still think RaiBlocks is in a really good position right now and just kind of consolidating before the move higher when it gets listed on Binance. So either way, I don't really see that as being too much of a problem. But we definitely took a bit of a hit here as far as the technicals go. And we entered a bit of a downtrend over here. Should also maybe go ahead and put in the lower trend line of this move that we're in. So what we see happening here, a little bit of a rectangle, and we're probably going to trade in between this little triangle right here up until we'll either break towards the upside or the downside. Obviously, we still have a nice uptrend line here carrying the price. Once that happens, that'll really set the trend for the short term. I obviously think that we're going to break out of the downtrend line. And then, of course, we still need to get through this pretty important resistance level at around 217,000 Satoshis. Once we break out of that, we'll pretty maybe be back towards the all-time highs, back in our bullish trend. But that should happen probably when we get some good news, right? That could definitely be the Binance listing. So that's kind of where I see RaiBlocks heading in the short term. And yeah, that's about it for RaiBlocks today. Let's get started with Bitcoin. On TradingView, like I said, I'm going to do the RaiBlocks analysis on TradingView once it's added, because if I go ahead and type it in, you'll see that it's not actually listed yet on TradingView.com. So to start off with Bitcoin, we can see that it's still downtrending. Obviously, the South Korean drama didn't help with that, right? It made us lose the $13,673 support level, and that was a pretty important one. So we're now moving into this lower range in between $13,673 and $11,414. Still hasn't come and tested that in a while, right? Which is a good thing, obviously. And for as much as Bitcoin is pretty weak right now, because mainly it's downtrending, as you can see, we at least got some support over here, a little bit of a double bottom at around $12,800, and that corresponds to the horizontal black line that I just put in now. I'm going to make that a little bit more bold. As you can see, we kind of put in a double bottom there, so that's where we're finding support. Hopefully, Bitcoin will be able to pretty quickly get back above $13,673, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens, right? Until we break out of that downtrend, the pressure will be to the downside. A little bit of an inverse hammer candlestick though, so that's a good thing. Bounced nicely off that 43 support level on the RSI, but we are still downtrending on the MACD. Histogram looks like it's still holding that uptrend for the time being, so we want to make sure that that continues. And that's about it for the Bitcoin technical analysis for the time being. We're going to go over now towards Ethereum and take a look at how it's been doing. So Ethereum took a hit here, actually not as bad as some of the other cryptos it looks like, and we were actually able to recover pretty nicely already. I'm going to go ahead and put in a black support line here. Got also a bit of a double bottom at $1,089, and now coming back up really nicely, like I said. So we got a lot of selling volume on those two candlesticks. And that's actually a good thing, because I feel like it clears out any kind of pullback here in the short term. Now that we see that we're already finding support at that $1,090 mark, more or less. So we made our way back above the uptrend line. We're kind of testing it currently. So we'll see if we can really get back to uptrending there. It'd be great, the sooner the better. And if we see that we're not able to hold that, we're probably just going to trade a little bit more horizontally until we get back to that $1,289 resistance level. That's going to be the resistance level that we want to break through to get back toward the all-time highs. Of course, if we lose this support level over here at $1,091, could definitely be moving lower, right? That's always possible. And as far as the indicators go, RSI trying to get back above that 70 line, already bouncing just a little bit. MACD flattening out, still holding okay, didn't really dip that much. But we are starting to drop on the histogram. Let's go over towards our next crypto of the daily crypto update, which is Litecoin, and take a look at how it's been acting. So Litecoin looks like very similar pattern to Bitcoin, actually. It's been kind of tracking Bitcoin over the past few days, has that double bottom over there at $220, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and put that in while we're at it here with a horizontal line. Same thing, right? We want to make sure that we hold $220 now and try to get out of this downtrend. That'll clear things up a lot already, but remember, we have that middle band coming downwards. That's at $250. That's the brown line right here, and that's going to put some extra added pressure on the price. So we're definitely not in the clear just yet, but if we're able to break out of this downtrend over here, that'll definitely help. That's what we want to see first up. And MACD, histogram, even the RSI, still not looking strong, still downtrending on all three of those. So we're going to have to wait till those flatten out and then get maybe a crossover. Afterwards, things shall be looking much better already for Litecoin. I'm going to go over to the mover today, which is Ripple, and see how it's been acting. Let me go over to Bittrex here. Now, like I said, Ripple is moving based on news. Definitely good news for Ripple. It looks like we're bouncing as well on the middle band. That's at $1.95. It's actually been supporting the price here as it dropped. Got a nice doji candlestick as well previously. Those are both good signs. We're also bouncing a little bit off the downtrend line. And indicators, obviously, still downtrending on the MACD and histogram. We'll look if those will quickly come back up, maybe cross back over already with the good news here. And it looks like the RSI is coming back up really nicely here. Nice rounded bottom, coming back towards that 69. We'll want to break above that to confirm more bullish action. Moving forward, it already looks like we're making some progress here. We broke above that $2 mark already, and want to make sure that we hold above that as we move forward. In between $2 and $2.73 is our range. Once we break above $2.73, we'll be back towards the all-time highs. Still have a couple resistance levels in between $2.46. So we're just going to be looking for Ripple to, if it's able to hold above $2, to just slowly but surely climb back up and break through those resistance levels, right? Let's go over to the next cryptocurrency, which is going to be NEO, and see how it's been doing. NEO is currently bouncing a little bit. It looks like it's trying to get back above that uptrend line, and I could honestly modify the uptrend line depending on how strict you'd want to be. So it's actually not looking that weak right now, and it is already making a lot of progress to getting back into that previous bullish momentum that we were in. It's honestly, basically, to recap, it's not looking that bad here, right? We made our way back above $110, which is the important support level. MACD still looking okay, still uptrending, taking a little bit of hit on the histogram, and RSI just dealing with a lot of resistance, I would say, but it is still uptrending. Got a little bit of a symmetrical triangle formation actually in the making there on the RSI. Just want to make sure that we get above 67 and 70 again to confirm bullish action. But as we move forward, if we're able to hold this uptrend line, that'll be great. That should mean that we should pretty quickly get back towards the highs here near $129. And if we don't, probably just going to move a little bit more horizontally, right? Let's go over to the next cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is going to be, let's see, Vertcoin, and take a look at how Vertcoin has been doing. So Vertcoin got a bearish signal once it broke to the downside of the symmetrical triangle formation over here. And I expressed my thought in more detail on a video not long ago. You can go and check that out. What we saw happen is exactly what I predicted, and that was that as soon as we broke below $6.35, we're really going to start taking a hit. We're able to survive one more day, and now what we're seeing is a big drop. That pushed us much lower with the South Korean FUD, and now we're trading all the way down to $5.60, unfortunately. Still haven't came and tested that $4.85 support level, so we'll be looking for that to happen in the next couple of days. Probably just going to consolidate a bit more and then test that. And now we're in a new range, right, between $4.85 and $6.35. So those are the two levels that we're going to be looking towards. Price to bounce in between until we make a decision on which side we're going to break through next. But we could definitely see the price consolidate a bit more here. Maybe if things get worse, we're going to enter our previous range near $4, but things would have to get pretty bad to get there just yet, and otherwise indicators pointing to the downside on all three. Let's go over towards the next cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is Monero, and see if it's been dodging the drama a little bit. Monero is just one of the stronger cryptos out there. Let's see what's happening. So it looks like we did get a pretty strong drop all the way down to $300 and more or less $355. You know, around that area is a pretty big support level. We currently made our way back above that. That's a good thing. Also put in a little bit of a double bottom there. So nice bounce and trying to get back above the middle band. That's at $363. It will be a very good sign if we manage to get back above that. We can see that it carried the price a lot previously, and it just seems to be an indicator for when the price is back into a more, just has more strength basically. Indicators still not looking great, still downtrending on that MACD, histogram, and RSI, kind of bouncing off that 50 level, but still haven't made its way above 57. So going to take some time. It's in the middle of the Bollinger Band range. I think we're going to move a little bit higher here, slowly but surely, back towards $400, right? Let's go over towards, and it has been consolidating a little bit here after the big move higher. So overall, I think that Monero is fine. It had to take a bit of a breather, and of course, the whole market is taking a bit of a breather right now, but it just plays well for Monero, is what I'm trying to say. Let's go over towards OmiseGO and see how it's been doing. So OmiseGO looks like it's bouncing off this $20 mark. I want to make sure that we can hold that, as we might see some consolidation here for OmiseGO. We didn't cross below the orange line just yet. Might get a bounce off that. Just about to cross over. Same thing on the histogram. So those are going to be pretty key, right? If we do get a negative crossover, then expect a bit more weakness. As far as the RSI goes, we're bouncing a little bit, and we have a pretty clear symmetrical triangle formation in the making. So to whichever side we break through, that'll kind of set the trend there as far as the RSI, which usually indicates what's going to happen with the price. And other than that, green candlestick here, like I said, bouncing a little bit. Definitely not enough strength just yet to confirm this a full bounce right now. We need to get, I would say, hold above $22.22 to make sure that we're out of the pullback, and then that we can start moving back higher towards that mid $20 range. Let's go over now towards the next crypto, which is Lisk, and see how Lisk has been doing. Previously, Lisk has been one of the cryptos to survive some drops. It looks like it didn't survive it this time, but kind of like Monero, it actually just turns out well because it needed a bit of a breather, and so I kind of like it here, to be honest. So Lisk is bouncing off this, looks like that 54 mark. There's some support there on the RSI. Did cross over negatively on the MACD and histogram though, so we'll see how long that lasts. We have decreasing selling volume throughout the drops here, and now some green volume. It's a very similar pattern if you look to what happened right over here, right? We got that big spike move on the new all-time highs, and then we pulled back a little bit, bounced off the same uptrend line that we're on right now, and put in that first green candlestick. Actually, it looks like we're kind of negative on the MACD as well, and as you can see, then we just slowly but surely climbed higher until we were able to move back towards the highs. And I think good chance that we see the exact same thing this time around. We have support from the uptrend line and the middle band, so overall there's more upwards pressure than downside pressure, and that's obviously a great thing. Let's go over now to Cardano, see how it's been doing. So Cardano is experiencing some weakness here. For Cardano, I think that's in a little bit of a different situation than a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, just because it's been going up so much that it was bound to take a little bit of a breather, and that's what we're seeing right now. The good thing, though, is that we're holding this middle band very nicely, even have a bit of a support level that put itself in with these candlesticks here at 4,899 Satoshis. That corresponds as well with the middle band, which is helping keep the price higher. Indicators still not looking great, no sign of flattening out just yet, and that's going to be something we want to pay attention to as we move forward, is these indicators flatten out and round back up. Take a look at the volume. We can see that we have for the first time pretty low selling volume, and that could mean that we're going to see it move back up a little higher. We're going to want to move back about 5,454 Satoshis to confirm entering back into the previous range, and that'll already be a really good sign moving forward. So we'll see if we can get that done in the next couple days. Other than that, let's go over towards IOTA and see how IOTA has been doing. So IOTA looks like it dropped back below $3.42. That's a very critical support level, just because we don't have that much support below that since we had such a strong move. I mean, we have major support at $1. I'm not saying that we're going to go down there or anything. And we do have some support levels in between, $2, $2.60, but not that much support just because it was such a strong move, right? We didn't put that many levels in. So want to make sure that we don't drop at least below $2.96. because there's some support there, but it looks like it's trying to already climb back above $3.42. We'll see if that happens. MACD, histogram, and RSI still not looking great, still downtrending. It's going to be a matter of time here. See if we're going to manage to hold this $3.42 mark, or are we going to start dropping lower, right? Keep in mind as well that we're trading below the middle band, and that's been acting as resistance as well. The middle band isn't downtrending as of right now, so that's a good thing. We'll see if it does start downtrending, but for now it's pretty flat, and it's currently hanging around $3.70. With that being said, everyone, this is the end of the Daily Crypto Update. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.